In this video from the Flackbox.com Cisco CCNA Lab Guide, the free download from Neil Anderson, is I'll be working on lab number 17, which is ether channel configuration. So here we go. This is actually the 17th lab in the free guide, and it's the ether channel configuration. This is probably going to take a while. I've got a bunch of notes that I'm going to have to refer to do this, but let's get started. And I'm going to pull this over a little bit so we can see our packet tracer a little bit better. In this lab, you'll configure ether channel links in a campus LAN. So let's move this over a little bit more and let's get rolling. All right, so step one, the access layer switches. Access 3 and 4, here and here, both have 2 fast Ethernet uplinks. And how much total bandwidth is available between the PCs attached to Access 3 and PCs attached to Access 4? So we have the, under Options, Preferences, I have the Show Link Lights turned off. I'm not sure I think they want them off for this lab, but you'll see here how spanning tree is actually turned off. Some of the links it actually blocks. But the bottom line, I guess I'll turn it back off. The bottom line is spanning tree is going to block all but one of the uplinks on the switches. So your total bandwidth available between them is basically going to be 100 megabits per second because it's going to come down to a single fast Ethernet link. So step 2, question 2 says convert the existing uplinks from access 3 to CD1 and CD2, access 3 to CD1 and CD2 to LACP ether channel. Configure descriptions on the port channel interfaces to help avoid confusion later. All right, so we'll need to configure 2 ether channels. So let's go into access 3. And let's get going on the command line. And we're going to do, let me fast forward in time. I made a mistake there. It's going to take a while. There we go. Oh, come on. It's trying to look up the domain because I made an error. There we go. Enable. And then we need to go in global configuration mode. And we need to work on 23 and 24. So 23 and 24. So let's do that. So interface, range, fast Ethernet, 023 through 24. That's going to be our range that we're working on. And the command we want to issue is channel group 1, and the mode is going to be active. Oh, you can tell I'm tired. Hold on, let's try that again. Channel group 1 mode active. Did it get it? Yeah, it did. I got it. Okay, Control U. And then let's exit out of there. And then we need to do interface port channel 1. And we needed to give a description. So the description is going to be that it connects to CD1. And we need to make it trunk since it's one switch to another. So switch port mode is going to be trunk. And we want this switch port trunk for native VLAN 199. Okay, so we have one side done. Now we have to flip over and configure the same matching settings on CD1. So let's pull it up, command line, and enable. And again, we're going to go into interface, or conf T, and then interface, move this out of the way. Range is going to be fast Ethernet, 023 through 24. And we're going to do channel group 1, and the mode is going to be active. And that looks like that worked. Okay. Okay, good. And then we have to do, let's exit out of there. And we needed to do the interface, and we need port channel 1. And we need a description. So the description in this case is going to be connects to ACC3. And then we want switch port mode is going to be for trunk. So let's make that trunk. And we need switch port trunk native VLAN 199. And VLAN 199. So we did access 3. Now we've got CD1 completed. Next, we're going to work on access 3 side of the Ether channel to CD2. So let's pull access 3 back up. And we need to end, and we're going to go into global configuration mode. We need interface, we need the range, fast Ethernet, and we want 0, 21, and 22 through 22. Yep, 21 and 22. And now we have to set that up for the channel group. And if I could spell channel group, and it's going to be 2. The first one was 1, so we'll make this 2. And the mode will be active. Okay, that looks good. Let's exit out, and then we're going to do interface port channel 2. And for the description, we're going to say next to CD2. Okay. And then switch port, it's connected to another switch, so we want it mode to be trunk. Okay. And then switch port trunk will be native VLAN 10. No, 199. Native VLAN 199. So that's done for the ACC3 side, access 3. Now we need to configure for the CD2 side. So basically it's the same setup. You just repeat it over here so that they match on each side of the link. Enable, prompt T. So now we're doing CD2 back to ACC3. So we want interface, range, fast Ethernet, and it was 0, 21 through 22. And we need channel group. And we need number 2. And the mode is going to be active. Okay, and then we'll exit out of there. And then we want interface, and we need port channel. And that'll be 2. And for this description, we're going to be connecting back to ACC3. So we'll just say connects to ACC3. That'll work. And switch port mode, if we got to make it trunk. Nope. And trunk. And then switch port trunk for native VLAN 199. Okay, so we've got ACC3 configured on one side and CD2 configured on the other side. So now let's look and see. Convert the, okay, that's done. Verify the Ether channels come up. So we'll go into ACC3 first of all. Look at that. And pull that over. And end. And we're going to do a show Etherchannel Summary. And we'll see the 2 groups, 1 and 2, LACP for 0, 23, and 24, and then 23 and 24 on the one side, and then 21 and 22, which is here. So 21 and 22, 23 and 24. And it says SU, which is layer 2, which it is, and U means in use. So it's up, basically, it's functioning. So that's good for ACC. For Access 3, excuse me, let's look at CD1. And we need to do a show Etherchannel Summary. And we'll have, for this one, we have SU, so S is layer 2, U is in use, means it's functioning, LACP, and it's 23 and 24, so 23 and 24. It's going back down to ACC3, so that's good. And then let's look at CD2, and we're going to end, and we're going to do a show Etherchannel, and we're going to do summary. And we have S and U, which is good. Layer 2 in use. LACP for 21 and 22, which is right here. These connections. So that looks good. All right, so PAGP Etherchannel configuration. Convert the existing uplinks from Access 4 to CD1 and 2 to PAGP. Note that in a real-world environment, you should always use LACP if possible. Okay, so let's start with let's start with Access 4 to CD2. We'll start there. And we need to go into Comp T for global configuration. And we're going to do the interface. We're going to do the range. It's going to be fast Ethernet 023 through 24. 23 through 24. And then we want channel group, and we want 1. And the mode is going to be active, or no, desirable, because this is PAGP. Yeah, PAGP. So its command is desirable. So desirable. And that should be good. And then we're going to exit out of that. And we're going to go interface, port channel 1. And we need a description here. So for our description, we'll say next to CD2. CD2. And we will do switch port mode trunk mode because it's going to be connecting to another switch. And we want switch port trunk native VLAN 199. Okay, so we have the Access 4 side of things done. Now we have to configure the CD2 side of things. So let's pull it open and do the same thing. Go through the same steps. So we have to go into global configuration mode, and we're going to need interface. We're going to want range, fast Ethernet 023 through 24. Yep, which is these right here. Okay. And then we need channel group. And we're going to do 1. Mode is going to be desirable. And that's part is done. And let's exit out of that. And then let's go to interface, port channel 1. And let's do a description for this. And it's going to be connects to Access 4 because we're at CD2. So next to ACC 4. And then we need to do switch port mode trunk. And we also need to do switch port trunk native VLAN 199. Okay, so we've got the Access 4 side of things configured. We just finished the CD2 configuration. Now we need to configure Access 4 to CD1. All right. Yep. So Access 4 to CD1 and CD2, and I did CD2 first. So yeah, we got to do Access 4. So let's pull it up and So, and T, and we're going access 4 to CD1, so that's 21 and 22. So interface range is going to be fast Ethernet. Nope. Fast Ethernet. And that is 021 through 22. And then we need channel group 1. No, channel group 2 this time, because we already used 1. And mode is going to be desirable. All right. And then we're going to exit out of there. And we're going to go to interface port channel 2. We need a description, and it will say connects to CD1. All right. And then we need switch port mode trunk. And we need switch port trunk native VLAN 10. VLAN 199. Native VLAN 199. And now we need to, we've done the ACC to CD1, now we need to do CD1 to back to ACC. So let's do basically the same thing from this side. And so comp T, off cap locks. And we're going to do interface, we're going to do range, fast Ethernet, 021 through 22. And it was channel group 2. And the mode is desirable. Okay. And exit out of that. And then we're going to do interface port channel 2. And for our description here, we want connects to ACC4 because it's from CD1. Yep. And switch port mode will be trunk. And trunk. Oop. Do that again. Get rid of that. And then switch port. Trunk. Native VLAN 199. Okay, so we have ACC4 to CD1, and now we just configured CD1 back to ACC4. And it's saying verify the ether channels came up. So we'll go to ACC4. And we're going to do the show ether channel command. So end show ether, nope, if I could spell, channel summary. And we should have SU. So number 1 and 2. SU is layer 2 in use, so that means it's up and functioning. It's Pagp for 23 and 24 and 21 and 22. So that looks good there. Confirm it on CD1. And we're going to do a show ether channel summary. Same thing. It's up. We changed the second one to Pagp, which is 21 and 22. So this connection here down to ACC4. And then we need to confirm it on CD2 for 24 and 23, it looks like. And let's do a show ether channel summary. And 23 and 24 is indeed Pagp, and it is up. So that looks good. Static ether channel configuration. Convert the existing uplinks between CD1 and CD2 to static ether channel. All right, so let's go over to configure the CD1 side first. And we got to go in comp T for global configuration mode, and it's going to be interface, it's going to be the range, it's going to be gig 01 and 02, right? Yeah. So gigabit Ethernet 0/1 through 2. And then the channel group, and it's going to be 3, that number, mode on, because it's static. Right. And then we want to exit out of that, and we want interface port channel 3. For our description, we'll just say connects to CD2. And we want the switch port mode to be trunk. We're connecting to another switch. And we need the switch port trunk native VLAN 199. So that's CD1 to CD2. Now we need to do CD2 to CD1. And let's get into comp key. Okay, so again, interface, we want the range. We want for fast Ethernet, gig, faster Ethernet. This time it's gigabit. Gigabit Ethernet, and it's 0, 1 through 2. 0, 1 through 2. Okay, that's our range. And then channel group is going to be 3, and the mode will be on. And then we want to exit out of that, and we need to do interface port channel 3. We need a description, and it'll be connects to CD 1, because this is 2 back to 1, so CD1. And then we want switch port mode trunk, and we need switch port trunk native VLAN 199. Okay, so we configured CD1 to CD2, then we configured CD2 to CD1. So that should be good. Verify the ether channel comes up. So let's go to CD1. And let's do end. And then we're going to do show Etherchannel summary. And we should see gig 0102. It is layer 2. It's up. I guess the dash means static. I don't know if that's right or not. But it looks like it's up. Everything looks right. So what does P stand for? In channel. Okay, that's fine. And then let's look at CD2. And what happened? There it goes. And then we're going to do, we need to show command, Etherchannel summary. And I see 0102. It's up, layer 2. So that's good. That looks okay. How much total bandwidth is available between the PCs attached to Access 3 and the PCs attached to Access 4 now? So the channels from Access 3 and 4 to root bridge CD1, they're up, but the channels to CD2 will be down by spanning tree. So you'll have now 2 fast Ethernet interfaces for a total of 200 megabits per second, I think. Okay, so let's go to layer 3 ether channel configuration. So that's going to be, looks like we're going to be working here. All right, what's it say? The layer 3 switches, switch 1, 2, and 3, are physically separate from the switches you configured earlier in this lab exercise. All right, so it says switch 1 and 2 are connected together with their gigabit Ethernet 101 and 102 interfaces. Configure these interfaces as layer 3 ether channel with LACP. Configure IP address 192.168.0.1/30 on switch 1 and 192.168.0.2/30 on switch 2. All right, well, let's go. So we got to go into switch 1. And we're going to pull that up. Oh, we need to go to global configure or enable conf T. And then we got to go interface. And it's going to be the range of gigabit Ethernet. And that was 101 through 2 in this case. All right. And then we're going to make it a layer 3. So we have to issue the no switch port command. No switch port. And then we need channel group will be 1, and the mode will be active. All right. And we can exit out of that. And then we need interface, port channel 1, and wants us to use 192.168.0.1 as the IP address, right? Yeah. So IP address is going to be 192.168.0.1, and it wants a /30, which is 252. So 255.255.250, oops, 255.52. If I could type. Okay, so IP address .1, got it. So that looks right. 192.1, okay, we got that. Oh, no shut. And because we just made it a layer 3, let me pull my notes here. Where am I? Okay, so we did switch 1 with 192.168.0.1, and we need to do switch 2 now. So let's go to switch 2 and do the command line. All right, so for switch 2, we need interface, we need conf-t, enable, and then conf-t. I'm getting tired. And then we need interface, and it's going to be the range of gigabit Ethernet 101 through 2, right? And we want no switch port because we want to make this into a layer 3. All right, and then we need channel group, channel group, and it's going to be 1, and the mode will be active. All right, and then we will exit out of that. And then we need to assign an IP address, so interface, port channel 1, I think it is, and then 192.168.0.2. So IP address 192.168.0.2. Yep. With a /30, so 255.255.255.252. Okay, and then no shut. All right, that should be done. Switch 1 and 3 are connected together with their gigabit Ethernet 103 and 104 interfaces, so 1 and 3. Configure these interfaces as layer 3 Etherchannel with LACP. Configure IP address 192.168.0.5/30 on switch 1 and 192.168.0.6/30 on switch 3. So, all right, so that's step 10. So let's do that. And we need to go into global configuration mode, and we want to do interface. We need a range of gigabit Ethernet, and it is 103 to 4. 103 through 4, right? And we need to make it a layer 3, so no switch port. And then we want channel group, and it's going to be channel group 2, and the mode will be active. And then we have to exit out of that. We're going to have interface, and we're going to have port channel 2, and the IP address is supposed to be 192.168.0.5. Okay, so IP address is going to be 192.168.0.5 with /30, so 255.55.252. no shut on that one. So that should be switch 1. Now we got to go to switch 3. All right, and pull that up. And did it again. Go forward in time. There we go. Enable conf key. So we did switch 1. Now we need to go into interface. We need the range for gigabit Ethernet 1, 0, 3 through 4. Right? Yep. 4. 4. 1, 0, 3 through 4. Okay, and we need to do, we need to make it a layer 3, so no switch port. And then channel, channel group is going to be 2. And mode active. And we need to exit and then set an IP address. So interface port channel 2. And the IP address will be 192.168.0.6 for switch 3. Right? So 192.168.0.0.6, right? 192.168.0.6 with the 255.255.255.252 because it's a /30, right? And we need to no shut. We need that. And I think we're done with that step. All right, so that was switch 1 and 3. And let's go to step 11. Switch 2 and 3 are connected together with their gigabit Ethernet 105 and 6 interfaces. Configure these interfaces as layer 3 Ether channel with LACP. Configure IP address 9 and 10 on switch 2 and 10 on 3. Okay, so we need to start with switch 2, and we're going to go global configuration mode, and we want interface. We want the range gigabit Ethernet, and it's 105 through 6. Yep. And we need to make it layer 3, so no switch port. And we need channel group will be 3, and the mode will be active. Active. Exit out of that, and now we need to give interface. We need to assign an IP address here in a second. And channel 3, and it said to use 9, 192.168.0.9 for switch 2. Yes. So it'll be IP address 192.168.0.9, right? Not 0.9 with a 255.255.252, right? That was for switch 2. We need to no shut it. Now we need to work on switch 3, and we're going to give it .10. So let's go to switch 3. And nope, that's switch 2. I need switch 3. And we're going to end, and we're going to do conf T for global configuration mode. So now in switch 3, we need interface range. It's going to be gigabit Ethernet 105 through 6. No switch port. We want channel group 3 and the mode active. And then we want, we'll exit out of that, and we need to do interface port channel 3, and we need to give it an IP address of, so this is switch 3, so 192.168.0.10, 192.168.0.10, 255.255.255.252. No shut for that one. And that should be it for switch 3. Yep. Okay, so that looks good. Verify the ether channels come up. Okay, so let's go into switch 1. And we'll do end. And we're going to do a show ether channel summary. We can see R and U, layer 3 now. That's good. And in use. So we have 1 and 2. That's good for gig 101 and 102. And it's not labeled on here, so that looks good. And then we need to do, we need to look at switch 2, make sure it got changed. So end and show ether channel summary and R and U, which is good because R is layer 3 and U means up. It's working. That looks good. And then we'll do the same for switch 3. And I did it again. Pass forward in time and packet tracer. And we want to do a show ether channel summary, and we can see that it's up there too. That's good. Oh, I just lost my mouse. Give me a second here while I try to get it to come back online. Let's see if that works. There it goes. All right, so oh, we need to just confirm that. So yep, R and U. Layer 3 now, and it's up. So that looks good. So that was step 12. We verified the ether channels. Configure switch 1, 2, and 3 to advertise the IP subnets configured on their ether channel interfaces in OSPF area 0. Let's do show IP interface brief. And we had 192.168. Okay, so that's right. We had 192.168.1 and 5, and then we did a 9 and a 10. So we had 1 and 2, 5 and 6, and then 9 and 10. So on that one, we just saw 1 and 5, and let's do IP interface brief, and 2 and 9. Okay, yeah. So configure switch 1, 2, and 3 to advertise their subnets. Okay, so we have to go to switch 1, and we have to get it to actually advertise it. So we want to do the IP routing command. Conft route. Am I in the right place? Switch 1, IP routing. Okay, and then we need, for the router command is going to be OSPF1, and it was the 192.168 network. So for network, we're going to say 192.168.0.0 with a reverse wildcard of 0.0.0.255. So basically anything 192 will work. And area 0 is where we want it. Okay, that should be good. I think we need to do it for the other ones too, though. I think we need to do, I think I need to do it for each of the switches, though. So let's do conft IP routing, router OSPF1, same network info, 192.168.0.0, 0.0.0.255, all in area 0. And then let's do it for switch 3. And that should take care of that. And so for switch 3, we need to again go to conft, and we need to do IP routing. And we need to use open shortest path first. And the network is going to stay the same, which was 192.168.0.0 with a wildcard of 0.0.0.255, all in area 0. Okay, so configure to advertise the IP subnets configured on their Etherchannel interfaces for area 0. So that looks good, and it looks like we're getting some adjacencies forming. So let's go, we'll start with switch 1, and we're going to do end, and let's do a show IP OSPF neighbor command. And we see, let's pull this up here. Open this up a little more. So for channel 1 and 2, so you got 9 and 10. So it's getting the neighbor info. And let's look at switch 2. Is it getting any? Yeah, see, you can see it's starting to end. And we want to do IP open shortest path first. No, show IP OSPF neighbor command, and it's picking them up. I can see that now. So channel 1 and 3, it's starting to get info. I think that looks right. And then switch 3, and we're going to do a show IP open shortest path first neighbor command, and yep, we're getting more info. So everything looks right there. Verify the OSPF adjacencies are formed successfully. That looks right. Verify switch 1, 2, and 3 have routes to all configured networks in their routing table. So let's do the show IP route command. And show IP route, but it should just be 192.168.0. So we have 192.168.0 is directly connected on port channel 1. 4 is directly connected on port channel 2. OSPF told it about 192.168.0.8 via 0.2 and 0. It's kind of hard for me to go through. I should have labeled these. It's kind of hard to. I think that looks good. And let's look at, so we got 0, 4, and 8. And then let's look at switch 2. And let's do a show IP route. And switch 2, 0, 4, and 8. It's learning a 4 from OSPF via 1 and 10. So, okay, good. And 3. Show IP route, and it's picking them up too, because look at OSPF is propagating it 192.168.0.0 and 4 and 8. So that looks good. I think that's right. And then it said which physical ports on which switches do you expect the spanning tree protocol to disable? And it says verify this. Well, we changed, if like if you look back here, if I can find it, we changed these from layer 2 to layer 3 devices with this command right here, no switch port. So there should be no spanning tree. It's turned off. So there's nothing there. We could do show run, pipe it out to begin span, and let's see what we have here. Yeah, I don't see anything. Here's the spanning tree info, but the ports aren't configured with spanning tree anymore. It's the no switch port, no switch port, no switch port, etc. Well, we didn't do those, but these we did. So here you go. So see, there is no spanning tree, so it's not going to have any of them turned off. So that's verified, and that's the end of that lab. So that was, what was that? Lab 17 in the Flackbox.com free download, lab guide download, and it was over Ethernet or Etherchannel configuration. And I hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you in the next video.